game, dropping their third in a row. This time, the Sacramento Kings losing this game 110 to 101. Despite a big game from Zach LaVine, who scored 41 points in this game, it was a rough go. We'll break it all down, talk about it right after this.
You are now tuned in to Chicago Bulls Central, your number one place for all Chicago Bulls news and content.
All right, Bulls fans. Oh. The Bulls lose another game. Zach LaVine turning in by far his best game of the season. Let's go over Zach LaVine's stat sheet before we talk about the depressing part of it. Zach LaVine in this game, 8 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 steals, only 2 turnovers, only 1 foul. Zach LaVine scored 41 points in this game, 16 of 28 from the field, 3 of 9 from three-point range, 6 of 7 from free throw. This was the game, if we pointed into anything, into what looked like the old Zach LaVine. This was the first time that we've really seen the old Zach LaVine, not only on the offensive side of the ball, but on the defensive side of the ball. Zach LaVine came out in this game trying to set the tone defensively early, trying to set that tone. And the rest of the team just did not support him. DeMar DeRozan had a terrible first half, comes back, goes 6 of 18. He does score 18 points in the game. Vooch, 12 points from Vooch, 10 points from Patrick Williams in his return to the starting lineup. He was 4 of 8 from the field, 1 of 3 from three-point range. Alex Caruso, a big nothing. He was 0 for 4 from the field. And then from the bench, it was a mixed bag. Still only 6 minutes from Andre Drummond in this game. 8 minutes from Goran Dragic in this game. They each have 2 points. Derrick Jones Jr. played 17 minutes, only 3 points from him. Ayo Dosunmu, 2 for 7, but 23 minutes from him, leading the minutes off the bench. 6 points from him. But this game, Malik Monk cooked the Bulls in the second half, leading the Kings in scoring off the bench with 20 points. De'Aaron Fox was 5 for 14 with 16 points. Sabonis didn't necessarily have he had a triple-double. So let's be clear here. He didn't have the point output that I expected. He only went 2 for 4 from the field, but Sabonis had 11 points, 17 rebounds, 10 assists. A triple-double from Sabonis in this game. I don't even know what to say about this team anymore. I have no idea what to say about this team anymore. We finally get Zach LaVine being efficient like we need him to be, and he is not supported by the team. Yes, Zach LaVine was pissed in this game, as he rightfully should have. At the end of the day, it's this team. We said it during the halftime hangout. There is something internally going on with this team. Just is. There's something going on with this team, and they need to figure it out, or a trade is going to be needed. Whether we want to see it, whether we don't. Like, there's something going on with this team that the team chemistry is not where it was at this point last season. It just isn't. You can't make any excuses for it. You can't turn around. It's wild. Godsley says DeMar's tunnel vision is crazy. There was a specific play in this that I should have screen recorded. That DeMar DeRozan was dribbling. Kobe White was wide open at the three-point line for at least 8 seconds in that shot clock. He did not even see him. He didn't see him. Kobe was clapping. Kobe had his hands like this. Kobe clapped a couple of times. DeMar DeRozan was so locked in on that basket, and he ended up – it all would have been for naught if he ended up making the shot. Didn't make the goddamn shot. But Kobe White was wide open. Did Kobe White shoot the best percentages from the field? He was 50%. He was only 1 for 3 from three-point range. But still, a wide open shot, you hit the man when he's wide open at the three-point line. And so, listen, I'm not blaming the Bulls' issues on DeMar DeRozan, but I am saying this. The Bulls have to play such a specific way for DeMar DeRozan, and he's just not having the impact he had last season. He's not. Smear60, talking about Zach LaVine. He immediately left the court after the game, didn't talk to anyone on the Kings. Drummond extended his arm to high five. LaVine walked past him and didn't even look at him. I would be pissed too. If I finally get myself out of my shooting slump and I score 41 points, this is just like the only 50-pointer that Zach LaVine had came in a loss. I give this type of effort. I'm expounding my effort on the defensive end, and I'm not known as the best defender. And my team just does not support me. This is wild. This is crazy. our defense sucks, Donkey D. Absolutely. Absolutely. We need to surround LaVine with shooters. Well, that, and we also need to use our goddamn big man. Now, again, I understand in this game, Sabonis, Vooch, I get that. But at the end of the day, it's this play style. I don't care if you're a Billy Donovan supporter, if you hang from Billy Donovan's nuts, if you hate Billy Donovan. I don't care which way you fall on it. At the end of the day, the offense that we run is not getting the best out of players. Our offense is basically built around either Zach or DeMar going off and everybody else filling in. Or hopefully Zach and DeMar going off together, picking their halves, their quarters, whatnot. It is not an actual offensive scheme. And the NBA, as I keep saying, has figured out what Billy Donovan does with this version of the Chicago Bulls team. The NBA's figured it out. Look at the way DeMar's been guarded. Just look at it. The teams have figured out whether you're a good team, a bad defense. The Sacramento Kings were the 23rd defensive team in the league coming into this game. How do they look tonight? How do they look tonight defensively? You know why? Because everyone has this team figured out on the offensive end. As long as that continues, as long as that keeps happening, we're going to keep running into this. We're going to keep running into this. The Shy, I'm sorry, no, that's a stupid comment. He's not afraid to make moves. There's not one move that just saves this team. We got to stop with the trying to dramatize and literally make this soap operas. It's really straightforward. Not to say that we agree with it, right? But no, you know what? There's not a single move that makes sense for this team, at least not the ones that have been presented. That dumbass Lakers trade, where we don't get a pick till 2027, that doesn't get it done. So we got to stop with this. We got to stop with that. But I will say this, at this point, some heads need to start rolling. Mixo in the building says, not going to lie, I wouldn't mind trading for AD with the comeback season he's having. Listen, I know it is. He's coming on late. I just don't trust it when it comes to AD. Seriously, a Chicago winner, his knee's gonna shatter or something. But he is. But keep in mind, the trades that we've been hearing weren't for AD. AD is not available. I'll tell you what, with AD playing back like this, the Lakers now are going to see him again as the chip to build around when LeBron does eventually leave the team. I highly doubt they're moving on from AD. Tell me this. Let me ask you this. How the fuck does blowing it up change anything? Do you realize that this team doesn't own their own first-round pick outright? Stop following these dumbass narratives from national media, just writing articles to try to get clicks, and then focus on that. That's stupid. Blowing it all up is not the answer here. Now, you can say, maybe we need to move Vooch. Maybe we need to move DeMar. Or one of those to try to rejigger some things. But to say blow it all up, that's idiotic in where the Bulls are right now. Zach should start being on the floor with Drummond, Io, Pat, and DJJ and Javante more often. That's decent spacing for us. Pretty good. I like that the idea of that, but the Drummond part of it, it's just not going to happen. Like, for some reason, I don't know what it is. Seems like Drummond has fallen out of favor with Billy Donovan. Up next, Wizards, Mavs, Hawks, Knicks ×2. Going to get ugly people. Acme will have to do something before the trade deadline. If not a lot of moves, whatever they do, it better count. I'm telling you right now, don't be expected that. Tank for Wemby. Nick the Bulls fans, let me tell you this. The Bulls can right now get the worst record in the NBA. They have less than a 50% chance to hold on to their pick because it's owed to the Magic. We're not getting Wemby. Tell you that right now. We're not getting Wemby. Illusional says almost every Bulls game is predictable. Barely lose the first, fall out even more in the second. Start the third, slow start to come back in the end of the third. Bring it close in the fourth, then fail to execute. God damn it, if that don't sound familiar. How do they find continuity when most of the players are inconsistent? Well, consistency and continuity are different. So keep that in mind. You can have continuity and still be inconsistent. But I get what you're saying with that, Joe. Zach played great, and the team didn't seem to know how to bolster that. They didn't. They really didn't know how to support him. Kadaro says, you right, Haize. There's something fucking going on internally. This shit sucks. Absolutely. I love DeMar, but I don't think we'll be having him on the team in a couple of months. I highly keep in mind there just came a report that literally they view DeMar as untouchable. Dunce, worst place to be in sports in the middle. IO Paul need to develop. Clearly, Bulls have a development issue. Oh, this is the worst spot, right? This is the worst place to be in sports is when you're kind of middle of the pack. Because it's difficult. It's difficult to get out of that. You either got to be ugly and lose for a while. You got to get lucky and have a player develop. It's crazy. Nobody, I guarantee you that I've not seen, I do these live streams at least 3 times a week. I don't know what you're talking about. I don't know what Reddit thread you're in. Nobody has said when the Bulls play bad, just pass it to DeRozan. As much as I disagree with some people here on this stream, nobody has ever said, I have not read one single, I get thousands of comments a week. Nobody has ever said, oh, the team played bad, let's pass to DeRozan. I don't know what the fuck, you just wanted to say something. Because nobody has ever said that. Nobody has said that. Silk Ron, I blame this one on DeMar. I saw the Bulls team fight back 87-88, I believe, and once Vu subbed back in for Derrick Jones Jr., it went left quick. Man. I agree with this wholeheartedly from Darius Wiggins. I ain't gonna lie, I love Zach being pissed about this loss. Yes, Zach, you remember when I don't know if you were here then, Darius, I got pissed off at the loss to the Pelicans because Zach was smiling on the sidelines after the loss. Definitely happy he's showing some heart after this loss. Definitely happy he's doing that. Colin, they had us figured. What are you talking about, Colin? It wasn't 20 games. Come on, fam. Like y'all just be wanting this. Colin, please do something better, bro. We knew or should have that DeMar would likely not repeat what he did last year. This is where everyone else has to step up. Said that coming into the season. It's not about that. DeMar was never going to. He had his best statistical season in his 32-year-old season. It's hard to replicate that when you're that far into your career. Haize, out of curiosity, do you think the Bulls will make the play-in at all? That's from Sydney. With the way they're playing right now, no. Just going to be honest with you. I've been very vocal on, the Bulls are going to get over 500. The Bulls are still going to make the playoffs. This Bulls team, the lack of heart and what it seems like this team just doesn't enjoy playing together anymore. I said I've seen this story before. The year after we swept the Miami Heat and the year before we got Derrick Rose, this team fell off a cliff. And that's what this team feels like again. This team feels like that team. And that is an ugly place to be in, man. An ugly place to be in. Windy City Vids, new players just aren't going to change this. We have some chemistry stuff going on here. New players just aren't going to change this. Now, they could help, definitely, but it's not going to turn it all around. Chris Carvinio says, yo, Drum playing 6 minutes this game is not it. Like, I don't know what's going on. Like, Drummond has been so good for us in his minutes. The fact that he's just not getting minutes now, it's not even like that he's just like not playing in force or something like that. It's literally, okay, Colin got to go. I'm sorry. I told y'all today I ain't got time for dumbasses. Colin got to go. Yeah, it's like something's going on with Drummond. It's wild. Lee Education James, this whole team's a mess from top to bottom. Let's go find Denzel Valentine and bring him back. Where is Denzel? Is he in the G League? I think I saw him that he's in the G League. I'm putting everybody in timeout that's doing some dumbass shit today. I don't have time today. I'm just going to let y'all know right now. I ain't got time today. King Kofu says, yo, didn't think you were on, didn't get the notification, and you weren't in my news feed. I'll take the loss. I stopped watching after DeMar lost the ball and fell with about 8 minutes left. Man. Brendan says, if we need to restructure our team in the offense, do you think Acme will try to build another playoff team or a rebuilding team? I doubt they go full rebuild. With Zach LaVine under contract, just signing that contract extension, them already having young players in Io, P. Will, Dalen Terry, Marco, if Marco ever shows something, I don't think this team goes full rebuild. I think that they may retool for sure. I think that becomes more of a possibility every single time this happens. V-Rod's an idiot, too. He got a good in timeout. I don't have time for people today. I'm just letting you guys know. Bro, went all downhill with a stupid motherfucker didn't want to pass the ball to someone who was wide open on the fast break and decided to take a dumbass layup and got blocked. So much selfish basketball here. So much selfish basketball. Haize, you're the GM. If the trade was to happen, what player would you target? I don't get into that. I don't do that, but we'll see. We'll see. I may do a video on that later on, but I have to. I'm too much of an overthinker and logical thinker, so I don't just throw trades out there. I have to literally look down at it. In my opinion, Bulls have spacing problems. They need solid 3-point shooters so that the floor can open for DeMar and Zach. Listen, part of the reason the floor isn't open is because of DeMar. But I agree with you. You had a team full of 3-point shooters that move without the ball. That's possible, but, you know. DeMar and Zach aren't a good duo. We need more to move one of them. They need to be paired with a star with big men to be successful. Vooch isn't that. I disagree there a little bit. Vooch can be. They don't use Vooch to the best of his capabilities. It's hard for me to say that when I literally see, and part of that may be on Vooch too, right? I'm not going to blame it all on anyone. Some of it's on the player, but they don't use Vooch down low often enough. They just don't. They don't. That's how Vooch can dominate. That's how Vooch can dominate in games. This team is a shit show right now, but I'm not quite ready to give up on. Hey, nobody's saying give up on them, but some shit got to change. Man, I agree with you, Haize. I don't think they enjoy playing with each other. Drummond doesn't look like he's not enjoying playing either. It's all Billy, I believe, as well, Haize. I can't blame it all on Billy. Some of it is players. Some of it is coaching staff. Some of it, hell, is the front office. There's some definitely issues with this. There's some issues with this team. That's why I say, if you guys have been Bulls fans long enough, this team right now and the energy around this team and how their lack of performing reminds me of the Chicago Bulls the year before we got Derrick Rose. We went from a playoff team to a team that just was in some games but were just getting their ass kicked. And not much on that team changed. That team was pretty much the same team that they were the year before. But they came back the next year, in between Scott Skiles just burning the team out, him losing the locker room, the team just not, the NBA figuring the team out, they just could not get it together. Then they got a lottery pick, they got lucky and got Derrick Rose, and they were able to do some things on the fly. But this team, just the energy around this team reminds me of that team so much. So much. Tariq T says, if Billy done, oh no, but they just gave Billy an extension. He's going to be here for quite a while. He's definitely going to be here for quite a while. Nathaniel Red asks, what's the issue with Marco? He sucks defensively. As good as Marco looks offensively, he sucks defensively. Bad. Bad. Haize, I don't know how we can get out of this. We have no picks. The front office has committed to Billy, and we don't. Well, that's a misnomer. We have picks. We don't have our own first round pick this season, but we have picks. We have our own first round pick next season. We own it outright. There's no protections. There's no chance it can go anywhere else. We own our own pick next year, and then in 2025 we don't own our pick again. But then we got all our picks after that. So we're not like a team like the Lakers that doesn't have a pick until 2027, right? We don't own our own first round pick outright this year, but we do potentially have another one coming in from Portland, which was smart by the front office. We don't have a first round pick next season. Oh no, we do next season. The season after that, we owe one to the Spurs, but then after that, we're clear selling. So this Bulls team does have picks coming in. I just want to change it there. Everything else, I agree with you, but this team does have first round picks. I feel you, Haize. DeMar's definitely not going to get traded midseason. However, this should be his last season on the team. He's a great talent, just not what we need. He needs at this point of his career, honestly. I agree with I'm starting to agree with that. Definitely starting to agree with it. And Vaughn, if that's who you target, you're still going to have a team that literally is going to be at the bottom of the league. That's it. Just period. That team, those additions, especially for what you would have to send out just to match contracts, shout out, you just made the team worse. And that's the issue with sometimes in trades, and this isn't just at you, Vaughn. Sometimes in trades, we focus so much on just bringing in what we lack that we forget what we also be giving up that is useful for us in those trades. That's why I don't do trade ideas off the top of my head, because I really like to sit back and look at it. Yulia says, Vooch is that big man. He just isn't used the right way. He needs more post-up situations, would create space for other players for a Vooch assist. And they have to still move without the ball. We have to get a team that starts moving without the ball. Reginald Short says, the player that I think gets traded in the offseason is DeMar. 1 year left on his deal, and he's going to want $20+ million per. I honestly, right, and this is beside the frustration with DeMar. Keep in mind, the Bulls definitely overpaid for DeMar. The Bulls honestly could have probably offered DeMar $15 million because he wasn't getting that type of money offers anywhere. DeMar, still getting older, I don't think he's going to command $20 million a year, because at that point you can say, hey, all right, DeMar, go test your value on the open market. I don't think he's going to get that level of money. I just don't. Could be wrong, though. But I just don't think at that point, being almost 35 years old and not like a generational caliber player ever in his career, I don't think he gets that type of money. At times, the team still looks on offense. Players don't know where to go on screens being set, are loose and sloppy. I'm not sure who to blame for that. Definitely agree with you there. Damn, big brother, we got bandwagon fans. Chill out. Well, run through Zach and finish strong. We good when we get back healthy. No, listen, this doesn't get back healthy. Everybody's out there but Lonzo. Well, and Javante. But again, and more than likely, Lonzo ain't coming back this season. So no, this team isn't just going to all of a sudden start clicking it on. Now, if they do, right, there's a small possibility of them. I'm always going to leave the door open to the fact that this team could eventually, this could be the loss, especially with Zach LaVine getting pissed off, and hopefully Zach is going the hell off on motherfuckers in the back, that we can possibly do that. But that gets less and less likely the farther we go in this season. We got to stop pretending Zoe is going to be the fix. Do we miss him? Yes. But to expect him to come back from 2 knee surgeries and have enough impact and production to turn around the season is false. Been saying the same thing for all the time, K-Treble. You are absolutely right on that. The Education James says, my thing about Vooch is that even on the Magic, he was an all-star. He was never dominant. He's all about soft touch, paint points. His game is based on finesse. Well, let's not act like you can dominate being a finesse player, right? Those two things aren't mutually exclusive to say you can be dominant and be finesse. Finesse just shows intelligence. You can still be dominant and be. Now, you're talking about like physical dominance. Yeah, that's not Vooch's game. That's not the type of player Vooch is. But you can still dominate and be a finesse player. Why did Chris Paul get the big contract? Because Chris Paul was still performing, like, period. And he came in and made a team, literally brought everything that they need. But it's still not like, let's be clear here. Chris Paul at 36 and DeMar DeRozan are looked at as two completely different, right or wrong, but they are held in completely different esteems. Let's also not forget that Chris Paul took advantage of a new CBA rule that allowed players over a certain age to get more money, right? So that definitely played a part in that as well. Anthony, I could already tell you don't actually watch the game. I could just tell that. I guarantee you're like inside the Chicago Bulls. You don't watch much basketball. I've been a fan since the Gilmore era, and from what I'm seeing, this team is burnt toast, and CP3 is a legend. DeMar isn't. This is what we need in this team. Somebody to be in the locker room snapping on players. There's nobody on this team that holds players accountable when they are playing like shit. Exactly right. Get them likes up in this bitch from my bro Haize. That's from Ronald. Appreciate you, brother. Little squad, Zach looked like old Zach. Yeah, and hopefully, right? Because sometimes with players, especially players that are scorers, all it takes is for one game. Not to say he's going to come out and score 41 every game, but maybe this was the game that Zach LaVine needed to get back on track. Now, I don't know if that gets the team back on track, but Zach needed this type of game. He definitely needed this type of game. Rap God Reloaded, wrong. He did make moves to improve this team. Dragic and Drummond have been everything plus more advertised to be. I don't know why they're falling out of the lineup, but he absolutely did make that. Alana, very well, and don't forget, they did say coming into this, they did talk about the fact that while the moves weren't major, one of the things that they were hoping for is growth from Patrick Williams, growth from Ayo Dosunmu, right? That's one of the things they were hoping was going to come out of continuity. The coaching staff utilizing players better than what they did last season. These things aren't happening. MC Season, do you think Gallinari would have made this team better if he chose the Bulls? Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, my God. I'm ignoring that just because you keep putting the same comment in here, and that frustrates me even more. Matter of fact, everybody's getting time out today that pisses me off. I'm just letting y'all know. Disgruntled Doc says, respect to you for not giving into journalist sensationalist attitude on the Bulls trade everyone. Good shit. Yeah, it's low-hanging fruit, right? Low-hanging fruit. Zach's potential is still way higher than DeMar's. We're taking about 3-level scorer who can play off the ball. What type of player you think complements his game best? Honestly, I think an up-tempo game with players that push the ball, and people who are also can shoot the ball. Like we're halfway there. Like literally, we are halfway there to the type of players that we need. Like Vooch and Zach, I think will be great together. DeMar and Zach, I still think can be good together, but you have to have a very specific team and the rest of the players that you have out there. Mike S., you are literally buying into trade rumors, and that's idiotic. No. Trading for first of all, the Lakers now with AD, they're not going to trade AD, and that's not even what the rumors are. AD is not coming to the Chicago Bulls. The Lakers aren't giving up on it. Get over it. That's where you fell out right there. It's not happening. Billy Donovan's gum. No, but for real, though, it hurts to say, but DeMar is low-key holding this team back. He's an amazing player, yes, and he does save us at times, yes, but let's be honest. It's just this. When you have a player that's so ball dominant and you have to play in such a specific way, if DeMar was a 3-level scorer or even had a consistent 3-point shot, it would change everything. Like DeMar DeRozan with a 3-point shot would literally probably score 31 points a game. But because he is so limited, he has to do the dribble 5 times, 3 pump fakes a lot of times, it limits the touches from other players. I've said this before. As much people shit on Patrick Williams, when Patrick Williams gets the touches that fourth overall picks usually get, he averages 18 points per game in those games. But it forces people into these roles. It forces people to have to be on the perimeter. You know why? Because DeMar damn sure ain't going to be on the perimeter. So he helps, but it still hurts some. Hey, if we get rid of DeMar, should we promote Lonzo and demand more from him? First of all, before we can promote and demand anything, the motherfucker got to be able to get on the damn court, right? He got to be able to get on the court. So we can't talk about promoting Lonzo to a goddamn thing when the motherfucker can't even run and jump right now. How can we promote somebody we can't even pass the ball to? So, like, it's right now, that's a moot point. It's a moot point right now. We have the same issue with DeMar that the Knicks had with Melo. Slows down the pace going into the post and stops ball movement. Agreed. Turner. Vooch has not been our next we didn't give up 5 years of building blocks for Vooch. What are you talking about? We gave up 2 firsts. We didn't give up 5 years of building blocks. Are you adding in Wendell Carter to that? Okay. You adding in Franz Wagner pick to that? That's one of the picks. So really what? I think this is all becoming evident. I think people are starting to realize, like, you can still be a good player, but not a good teammate. And I think some people don't understand the difference in that. And it really is dependent upon the type of team that you're on, right? DeMar can absolutely be a great teammate on certain teams. This team is not made up for that, or they're not utilizing that. It's just not. MC season, what does promoting Lonzo even look like? I don't know, because right now he can't do nothing, right? Right now, MC season has played the same amount of minutes that Lonzo Ball has played this season. You can't promote that. I don't know what you mean by promote that, but you can't promote it. Pat is a three-point, like, you can't shoot the ball 50% from three-point and not be a three-point threat. Could it develop even more? Yes, definitely. Definitely. Right now he's shooting 42%. He got out of the 50% range. But Patrick Williams, a 41% three-point shooter for his career, taking 2 3-pointers a game. It's all about volume for Patrick Williams. Brandon L. Jet. It refreshed on me. Brandon L. Jet. What did I miss? This has been a depressing day as a Chicago fan. It's been rough. It's really been rough. Look at how Anthony Simons is playing without Lillard. If you have 2 guards who are both scorers on the floor, one has to take a backseat or be catch and shoot. Not necessarily. Because, I mean, look at Golden State. Like, you can. But at the end of the day, you said 2 guards. I mean, DeMar isn't playing as a guard, but it could work, like, but you have to have 2 very versatile guards to be able to do that can almost do everything on the court. Dude, you're literally idiot. You're getting timed out. Like, you've always been an idiot. I've tolerated you, but I ain't got time today. You're going in timeout. I really don't have time today. I've been sitting here for 20 minutes deciding what to type because I'm ready to slap the braids out of DeMar head, bro. That's Bobby. Listen, man, it's tough. I said this over on Locked on Bulls. I do think having DeMar come, much like with Westbrook, I think that DeMar coming off the bench listen, What's one of the things that we lack from the bench? It's consistent scoring. You have Goran Dragic, you have Kobe White, you have DeMar DeRozan, you have Javante, you have Drummond all coming off the bench. That's a dangerous bench unit. Now, is that going to happen? No, it's not realistic. It's not going to happen. But I definitely think DeMar at this point will be more effective off the bench on this makeup of this current team. In my opinion, teams figured the Bulls out. Billy needs to start calling set plays. This free flow offense without Lonzo isn't working. And can somebody please tell me what happened? Nothing happened to Alex Caruso. Alex Caruso has never been a solid shooter, right? I don't know what you guys were expecting. If you look at Alex Caruso for his career, he just hasn't. First of all, he's never really been a volume shooter, but he's always been up and down. Alex Caruso is shooting 42% right now for the season. You know what his career shooting percentage is? 42%. He's shooting 36% from three-point range this season. You know what his career shooting is? 36% from three-point range. Alex Caruso is giving you everything that you should expect. Nobody should have came into this expecting Alex Caruso to be this huge shooter. That's just not been his game. Alex Caruso has averaged 5 shots a game for his career. We talk about 7 shots for Patrick Williams' career being low. Alex Caruso has only averaged for his career 247 games, 5 shots per game. You know what he's getting with the Chicago Bulls? 4.3 shots per game. This is Alex Caruso. I don't know what you guys were expecting, but this is Alex Caruso. This is always who Alex Caruso has been. He's always been this player. Let's see. Unk pissed. That's funny. Okay, and this is what comprehension is a big thing, Con. It's not about shooting. Like, do you listen? Do you understand the concept of basketball? I got time today, right? I got time today for people who say dumb shit. Do you not who said anything about points, averaging, or shooting? It's about fit on the floor. Do you understand that thing? Do you understand that? It's about fit. When you look at the way that DeMar slows the game down with the players, and now, again, as I said, it's not all on DeMar because some of these players aren't moving without the ball. But you have to understand in watching the game and not just the box score of how DeMar affects the game. And we're not even talking about how trash DeMar is defensively. Again, moving him to the bench, there are better defenders on the bench next to him. Ronald, why is Caruso, Alex even in the starting lineup? To change things up, Billy Donovan being Billy Donovan. No disrespect, but it's sad that our best Chicago sports team in the is a WNBA team. They play with more heart than the Bulls. Oh, absolutely. The Sky would literally sweep the Chicago Bulls in the playoff series, hands down. Hey, no, I'd rather use your mama's mouth like I do. What the fuck are you talking about? Who said anything? What are you talking about? You don't even know what you're talking about. You're so busy trying to get a win back because I flamed your ass in the halftime hangout that you're not even making any sense. You're just as bad as your mama's decision to not swallow you instead of birthing you. This is just as bad as that. You don't know what the fuck you talking about. You're just trying to say something so you can get some attention. I'm sorry your dadly diddled you and that you were looking for attention from a man, but that ain't it, bro. That ain't it. It's sad that you look for this much attention from a grown-ass man. Take your ass to timeout. Like your mama should have sent you. Oh, your feelings are hurt. No, I put people in timeout who are dumb like you. And the fact that your mama didn't raise you right and public school failed your bitch ass. That's why you got in timeout. So if you got something to say, bitch ass, go to Twitter and say it, and we can get into a back and forth. Because you hide every time somebody challenges your dumb ass what your bitch ass thinking. Your mama's a hoe. Your daddy didn't give a fuck about you. Nobody loves your ass. That's why you looking for attention, talking about the Bulls should start Kobe White when everybody knows that doesn't work. So if you're going to try to come for the king, you best not miss. And you miss with this one, just like your mama missed by not swallowing your bitch ass. So what you got to say now? Talk like just dumb. Literally just dumb. Goddamn Haize, you ain't have to flame him. Oh no, he deserved it. He already knew. It was coming for him. It's been coming for him. Haize, would you try Dragic at the starting point guard position to change things up a little? I would say this, with Alex Caruso not shooting the ball well, eventually maybe Billy Donovan looks at that. I do think they're trying to preserve Dragic by like limiting his minutes. So yeah, I think that's kind of what it is. Get Up. He been asking for it for a while. Oh, that his name. So you may not remember, Alana. So Get Up is actually proved me wrong. Last year he came in. The Bulls should start Kobe White. It's clear that Kobe White's the best player. The Bulls get more wins when Kobe White's out there. The Bulls, like, he's just an idiot. And we flamed him in the comments, and he's been in this feeling since. What kind of value do you think DeMar has on the trade market? I don't know, but the Bulls aren't going to trade him, so I'm not even going to consider that. You know, it's crazy when Auntie tell you to chill. I laugh at my. Did she tell me to chill? Oh, I didn't even miss it. Goddamn, hey, slow down, nephew. Hell no, that's crazy. Oh man. Who or what is the X? I have no idea. Jesus. I don't know. Jesus, Levante, Christ. That's it. That's the X factor. And by that, I mean they need to go pray to Jesus that they find their game. So. He probably is Kobe White. No, even Kobe White got stuff better to do than that. I hate watching these guys for real. We could have had the same record, but if it was Kobe, Puel, and Io playing 30 minutes a game, I would be way happier. I mean, because at that point, you're developing, right? Oh, probably. Like, literally, and you know, the only reason I'm telling you this, and so this is why I go off on him. Because the only reason he's doing that is just for attention. Like, literally, the dude is just, he's craving, like, I've never seen somebody who craves attention from grown men so much. So, you know, it kind of is what it is. You got to just pray for people like that. The Bulls need to hire the guy that taught Lonzo how to shoot. That's funny. Listen, everybody's talking about this when Zoe is probably not coming back this season. So, great question. This is a great one from Tyler Moore. Are you disappointed in the growth from Io from this year to last year? Not really, because to me, Io doesn't really like when the beginning of the season. Look, remember how when we started off this season against the Miami Heat. If you look at the first 5 games of the season. When Io was given the ball more, he does some things. Even now, when Io was given the ball and allowed to actually be a point guard, kind of dictating the pace and pushing the pace, Io was pretty good. But listen, come on, Tyler. You're back to asking the same questions back to back. I ain't even answered this one, and you already asking it again. Don't do that. You're going to get yourself in timeout again. But with that being said, I'm not really disappointed at it because he really doesn't have the opportunities, I should say. MC Season says, come on now, Haize. Inside the Chicago Bulls craves more attention than anyone else. That's very accurate. That's very accurate. L, my brother from another mother, asks, Bulls versus Wizards, who you taking? Porzingis, Bill, or whoever their third is. They may be a problem for Chicago. Oh, it's going to be the fifth man, the fifth man off the bench that's the problem for them. It's, oh, God. I don't even want to think about that. Like, let me, I'll get there when I do the pregame show for that. Let me sit in this being pissed off for a minute. When do we play? We don't play Washington till Wednesday, so we have 2 days off. But looking at this roster, Roy Hachimura isn't playing. Oh, it's going to be Will Barton. Just saw it. Will Barton. Will Barton's going to go off for 5 of 6 from three-point range. Definitely. The hope for them to get above 500 is paid in every quarter they played. This is a very sometime instinct. You're absolutely right. Absolutely right. Auntie says, Bulls got some other shit going on in that locker room. Absolutely. Absolutely. Oh, for sure, Melvin. This would be the game where Ben Simmons goes off for 3 of 6 from three-point range and then, like, goes on a tear for the rest of the season. Like, we literally let teams get in rhythm. Look at what it's frustrating, man. It's really frustrating. Brian says, Haize, everything in Chicago bipolar is for sure. For sure. Steve-O, my little brother, comes in here. He says, I don't know what it is. I don't know if they need to stay after practice or put in extra work on an off day. But shit, no. They need somebody who's literally going to go in there and smack them. Like, that's it. Somebody just needs to smack them. Like, literally. That's all that needs to happen. I don't care about nothing else. I don't give a damn. Somebody needs to smack every player on this team. Open hand, of course. Zach, DeMar, Coach Donovan, everybody. Just open hand smack the whole lot of them. Everybody can get it. Is where we at right now with this season. And it's frustrating to say. It's frustrating to feel. But if it was up to me, the moment that they came back, if I was AK and Eversley, when the Bulls came back in the locker room, I would have been sitting there just like this. This is how it would have been coming. I used this joke over on over on Chicago Bears Central 2, but it still holds true. I would be literally sitting in the locker room waiting for them, and as they came through, it'd be, you fucked up, right? You fucked up, right? You fucked up, right? That's it. That's what this team needs. They need somebody who's literally going to put the fear of God in them. That's exactly how I'd be sitting in the locker room waiting for them if I was the GM. That's it. Like, literally. As soon as Zach, Vooch, DeMar, Billy, whoever's the first one in the locker room, I would have been sitting there just like this. You done fucked up, right? And then got up and open hand smacked the shit out of. That's how this post would have went. Every single time. Nah, that Will Smith smack wasn't hard. Like, the fact that Chris Rock didn't go down, that was a whack ass smack. But all right, y'all. Let me go ahead. We're going to get ready to shut this down. Got to go live over on Locked On Bulls. Thank you guys for tuning in. Let's do this officially. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button too, as if you're not Get Up. But make sure you follow the show at Bull Central Pod. You can send us any feedback, questions, comments, concerns, bullcentralpod@gmail.com. Lastly, if you want to leave a text and or voicemail, the number to do so, 773-270-2799. We're the number one spot for everything Chicago Bulls related. And no, I am not Get Up's father because he's ugly. We don't birth ugly kids over here. But I appreciate you guys so much. Like I like to end everything on, go Bulls. Love you guys. Peace, y'all. And see red, y'all.